Hey collective, I told you guys I would be back. How are y'all doing? I'm gonna light some sage. So I'm doing a general collective reading for everybody, all signs. And I'm going to be touching upon what's going on at home, what's going on at work, what could possibly be going on within the family, what could be going on at the gym, which is the gym is where we work on our personal growth. So, anything that has to do with personal growth. It doesn't have to be personal fitness per se. And then we have section 5, which is going to be friends and community, and that is going to cover like BFFs, co-workers, friend groups, neighbors, old situationships, and society in general. Okay. And then we have section number 6, which is going to be about the collective's romance and love. And I thought it was kind of nifty to label that one as number 6, since that's what, the lovers is in tarot. So section 6 is all about love and romance, and section 7 is going to be about sorry, I gotta start humming. And it's always Christmas songs. I guess that's the first thing that pops up in my head because it makes me feel happy. So section 7 is going to be all about, it's called the studio or travels. So this is going to be about what you are creating at this time. What it is that you are working on that helps you transmute certain energies, and helps you move them along so that you have more flow in your life. Okay. And then the last section, but not least, is going to be section 8, which is going to be advice from spirit. This can possibly come in the form of a certain path or a direction, or a thumbs up, you're doing great, like a 6 of Wands, which is victory and success and achievements. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sections: home, work, family, gym, community, friends, romance, love, studio, travels, and advice. Okay. And we are gonna pull out several different tarot decks. I'm probably gonna use 5 at the least, and I will let you guys know what decks that I do use. Did I do something? No. Okay. Whoa, this thing caught on fire quick. Okay, so I'm just trying to cleanse the air. I'm using cedar instead of sage. It comes in a bundle like sage, but it's cedar. And it's very, very good for grounding and channeling and clearing out just funk, you know? Right about now, the Funk Show, brother, check it out now. Funk Show, brother, shimmy, shake it, shimmy, shake it. I think that was on the Flintstones. Huh? Okay, so let's get started with these sections. Okay, I'm gonna sorry, hold on 1 second. Then I'm gonna clear the energy with these. Okay, I'm gonna take a few seconds to ground myself. Okay, things feel good. All right, let me move this over here. Now, I just thought of something that I had left. What would I have left over there? Oh, it'll come to me later. Oh, tape. I'll get that in a minute. So one thing I have been guided to share with you guys is so I know a lot of people, not just content creators, even though a lot of them are. Did you see that big flash? What was that? Like a blue flash. Okay, so I have been doing art. I mean, using acrylics. I've been using all different kinds of paintings, pastels. I've been drawing ever since I was little, and within the last 4 days, I've done 2 drawings that I am pretty excited about. It's something that has helped me, which I have one of the elements, which is 7, or one of the areas, which is number 7, which is going to be about the studio and or travels. So this is something that you are going to be creating right now in your life, something that you would do on the side to help you transmute some energy so you can keep the flow. Okay, so I'm gonna share them with you. Don't laugh at me, but one of them, I literally just went to pencil and paper with no intention to draw a specific thing. And that's kind of where the magic happened for me, um, because it wasn't until I got to certain aspects. It is kind of like a portrait, but which are very difficult to do, so please don't judge me. It is done with pencil, and I end up drawing someone who is very, very significant to me, like who means a tremendous amount to me. And I'm gonna share it with you guys. And it just, when I realized who I was drawing, I started feeling it a little bit beforehand. And as I was feeling it, it's almost as if like that person were sitting next to me, like as I was drawing this person's face. Now this person has passed away, okay? They meant the world to me. They still do. A part of me, that's a part of my story, a part of me died whenever they did. Okay, hold on. Why am I not finding it? I swear if the kids took it out. Okay, no. It's here. I just passed it up. I must have, because I see my other ones. Okay. Well, when I find the portrait one, I'll show you. But this one took me like 3 days, and it's of a ballerina. And to me, I was kind of like fixated on showing maybe imperfections, or maybe not imperfections, but showing that not everyone's perfect and everyone's just so unique and authentic in their own way. So this was done in about 3 days, and then I did the portrait, who turned out to be my father, which is very, very significant for me. My dad passed away in 2016 from an airplane accident, and it was devastating for me. Like, I'm the only child, so it meant he was the world to me. So I started drawing this picture, and please do not laugh at me, okay, because I'm not the best artist in the world. But I started drawing a picture of him, and I just got so fixated on the eyes, as if he were like looking at me. And like, I remember him having a scar from getting in a bar fight. He has another scar right here on his chin. And he was losing hair. He passed when he was 49. And I do have a picture of him. He's actually right here. Whoops. So the person I drew is this person. Oh my gosh, you can't see. Let me move. This person, who is my daddy. And he died in 2016 from his own airplane losing power. And that was really, really hard for me. That was something that I had to work through, because he was just meant the world to me. He just looks so happy. Just look. It's so crazy. He just looks like he's just a happy person. And he was. He was cool as shit. He taught me damn near everything I know. Like, he taught me how to hunt, how to fish, how to scuba dive, how to do all that. And so this is who I drew, was my dad. And like, I know it's not perfect or anything, but it's the whole process of working through those emotions that come up, because it's almost like drawing for me is like almost like swimming in comparison to doing something physical. I'm using all those muscles, excuse me, and when I'm drawing, I'm using all those senses, because I'm mentally invested into what I'm drawing, because I'm trying to capture the moment. Then I'm back at the moment whenever it happened, and it's crazy. But yeah, that is the drawing of my dad. And the last one, I have a few other ones in here. I'm not even gonna dare to show. But the prominent one I worked on and I did in 3 days was the ballerina. And like I said, this is definitely something a lot of people have been doing, whether it be creating music, whether it be drawing, whether it be, you know, whatever it may be. This is my owl I drew. I couldn't sleep one night and I just started drawing it. And let's see. Oh, I love this one. This fish. I don't ever really put color when I use pencil. Like, if I'm gonna use color, I'm gonna use acrylic or oh, look at my moo cow. See my moo cow? No. I'm sorry, guys. I'm like taking up the reading with all my crazy pictures. But it is a form of transmutation, 100%. And I was working on a horse, but I stopped. If this is like, this may not be your thing, this may be your thing. Music may be your thing. Like really exerting your body and doing physical fitness could be your thing. Who knows? But that just so happens to be mine. Okay, so we are going to start off with, before we get into all the 8 sections, I'm going to pull a couple cards just for the general collective to see what it is that they need to hear at this time. What does the general collective need to hear at this time, Spirit? It says, the Wood Wife, trust your inner wisdom. I'm going to need this whole table, so maybe I can set it like right here. Okay. I'm going to get another one for the general collective. We have fringe dweller. See with eyes and heart wide open. I did say in the last live, well, yesterday, that the vibe was a lot about forgiveness and trying to move past things like that. And we have trust your inner wisdom, and then see with eyes and heart wide open. That kind of reminds me of a song. Let's see. Which card am I gonna pull first? Okay. I'm gonna go with this tarot deck. Okay, so the first section is going to be all about home. So what's going on at home right now, which would represent kind of like the first house, which is all about self, you know, just the way you perceive yourself, things like that, the things you believe in. So what is it that you are working on or creating at home? For the general collective, what is the general collective working on or creating at home at this time? Okay, so I have the Hermit card. It looks like, well, that makes sense. Home is a structure. It is somewhere where you can go and recluse and have security and a roof over your head. The Hermit card is all about being a recluse and taking that time and using it wisely. Wow, I just blinked and I just saw something, but like something, but I couldn't make out what it was. So the home, at your home, in your home, what you're working on and what you're creating is solitude and independence, and you're creating a place to where you can introspect and you can heal and you can actually look and think of these things from a certain point of view. We're going to go ahead and move on to section number 2, which is going to be about your work. What are you creating at work? What are you creating, and what do your finances look like? What does your career status and money look like? Okay, so for the general collective, what are they creating at work at this time when it comes to their finances, career, and money? What are they creating and working on at work? the Knight of Pentacles, okay, which is all about being productive and practical, choosing your battles wisely. We can find tension and frustration at work, okay? So that can happen. That does happen. But what I'm seeing here is I'm seeing that you are very open to being productive with others when it comes to making your revenue, making your money. So absolutely. This Knight is all about slow and steady wins the race. So they do tend to take their time and slowly invest so that they can reap their reward long term. This person is thinking long term when it comes to their work and their finances. Okay, let's move on to section. That's correct. Let's move on to section 3, which is going to be about our family connections and bonds, which is going to be parents, aunts, uncles, cousins, siblings, things like that. Children are going to be home with you. So family is going to be like immediate family aside from your children. So let's go ahead and see what's going on with the general collective in spot number 3, where we're talking about family. Okay, what is the general collective working on or creating with their family or parents, extended family? What are they working on? Okay, I got the 9 of Wands. They are working on being resilient, meaning they're working on standing firm to their boundaries and being affirmative, being very firm whenever they say no. Okay, some people just don't accept the word no, and it can cause a lot of problems, especially whenever you're dealing with elders or things like that, or if you are in a very close-knit family situation. But I'm seeing that when it comes to whether it be your parents, aunts, uncle, cousins, whatever, I'm seeing that I feel like you are working on trying to be less resilient, but being that you have to keep your guard up, like this has mentally fucked you up, and it's physically fucked you up. So whatever has happened in section family has had you almost creating a barrier around yourself, like a wall of protection, like kind of to the point where we can't even really live close to each other, you know. The love is still there, but heartbreak and despair because of the things that have happened in the past that you just can't erase from time. It's kind of like maybe a parent not being in the picture for many, many years for your childhood, and then they're all of a sudden there, you know, that kind of, you know, jerk of trauma. Okay, now we're going to move on to section 4. Now, section 4 is all about, it's called the gym, okay? And this is all about your personal growth. So, may it be a private practitioner that you may go to for aka massage therapy, or you may go for acupuncture, or you may go for hypnotherapy, or you may go for past life regression, or you may go for whatever it may be. There's so many spiritual healing modalities and techniques that are out there that are just incredible, and the gym is one of them, I'm telling you. Okay, so let's see how we can transmute this yucky energy. Okay, what are you creating? What is the collective creating at the gym when it comes to their personal growth? What are they working on? What are their intentions? What is the collective working on at the gym when it comes? Okay, so we have the Ten of Wands, typical card for the gym. Pump and iron, okay? So this talks about burden and labors. So I'm seeing that you are releasing a lot of these burdens that you have been carrying around with you. They could be resentments that we are holding on to that are deeply rooted, that can be hard to recognize, or they can be limiting beliefs that we've held on to, or they can literally be abusive in nature, so from others. So that's just a lot to me. That just looks like a big sack of bullshit, honestly, because it's crazy how our minds can just attach to such a false reality, a false narrative of somebody, of ourselves, you know. And okay, so in the gym, what you're working on, what you're creating when it comes to your personal growth is relieving yourself from these burdens, okay? This Ten of Wands, relieving yourself from this, carrying all this weight and strain and stress and pain and anxiety and anger and frustration and just fucking you know, just all of that. That is what you, yes, so you can continue to persevere. It's almost like you're needing this outlet. So if anything, maybe take this exercise to see what is working in your life, in what area, and where you can tweak things in a different area. Okay, so you are releasing something, a huge burden in the gym, so that you can have more energy to continue to persevere against this, the things that keep coming your way, or the people who keep coming at you for no reason, or for some reason. I don't know. Everybody's situation is different. We are going to go ahead and move on to section 5. Okay, 5 is all about friends and community. Okay, this can be BFFs, this can be co-workers, this can be like tight-knit friend groups, this can be neighbors, old situationships, society in general. Okay, So, what is it that you are working on or you are creating, speaking of the general collective, when it comes to their friends and the community? We have the Ace of Wands, which is all about work and creation. So it looks like you are working possibly harder, more diligently, with a strong purpose to possibly find kindred spirits, people like yourself that you can call and talk to about these kinds of things that are happening in your life, and so that you can have an outlet. I'm definitely seeing that, because I mean, when it comes to BFFs, okay, there's gonna be some, this bitch said that and that bitch said this, there's gonna be some drama. So I'm seeing, like, and with coworkers, they can sit there and nag and nag and nag, and know it pisses you off every time they do something to the fucking coffee machine. Or friend groups are constantly gossiping behind your back. I don't want to sit here and like trauma dump it, okay? Because there can be wonderful qualities when it comes to having a best friend, with balance, okay? With boundaries. Yes, that can happen. A healthy coworker environment, that's to be determined by who you're dealing with. Because if this is just a crazy son of a bitch, I don't know what to tell you. But friend groups is another thing. That's something that else is in your control. If you know that, let's say there's a group of, example, 4, 5 of you, okay, and y'all always get together for beers, or y'all always get together for mimosas. Y'all may play Pacino or cards or whatever, but you know which ones are talking shit and gossiping, because it seems like you're the topic. Like, everybody wants to know what's going on in your life, whether it be anticipating for you to fall so that they can have something else to talk about, or just the latest gossip. And it can be sad. So I see you working diligently and in a very kind of creative, strategic kind of way when it comes to creating new friendships, when it comes to the community around you, and how to handle those old situationships that we've all had in the past. And under the deck we have Temperance, which is, I mean, yes, it is talking about your angels, but it also talks about being patient and duality, being able to see the two differences in something, and be able to truly recognize it. And whenever you recognize that you cannot control anybody, but you can remove yourself from them, then you have all the power. And I think you have all the power when you know that you're ultimately in control of who is in your environment, who surrounds you. Okay, enough about that. Let's move on to section 8. Okay, section 6. This is going to be about the general collectives, love and romance. Okay, and I thought it was pretty nifty to make it number 6, since the lovers is 6 in tarot. But let's see what comes out for the general collective, and what they are working on or creating or manifesting when it comes to love and romance. We have the Three of Wands. So this is talking about creating some sort of plan within, our actions are first created here. So whatever comes out is first created here. So anyway, Three of Wands is all about being productive. Okay, so planning things out. And Wands represent movement forward. So actually having movement and things like that, having progress. So when it comes to your love and romance, what I see you creating is possibly new habits when it comes to matters of relationships and love. And I see you making progress. Okay, so you can either be in a relationship and this is something that you are working on and you are currently making progress. You can be a single, mingling and talking to somebody and have interest in someone, and you seeing what you want and creating it before it happens is ultimately manifesting. So I feel like for my singles who are actually really in it for the long term, like will eventually get married, I see you guys really doing a lot of planning here, and you're daydreaming, your everyday daydreaming whenever you're in a state like this. It's crazy because you can manifest so insanely. Like being in the honeymoon phase and all that kind of stuff, like you don't even realize you're manifesting just beautiful things your way because you're just coming from such an abundant space. And when your life begins to change in such a way that you yourself physically feel euphoric, you feel different. I'm sure y'all can kind of relate to me in this kind of sense where you just feel at an all high without drugs. You know, I feel like all you're gonna do is daydream about what's to come. What are you wishing for? What can you, the things you can't wait to see happen in a relationship. So yeah, whenever you're in that honeymoon phase, you are manifesting like a motherfucker, because it's like you could just be sitting in a chair at the doctor's office and just be daydreaming, and because you are in such a happy state and in a very, very grandiose but in a good way, and just with full adornment, you're going to project that out into the universe, and you're going to manifest like retarded miracles in your life. Okay, so let's go ahead and move to section 7, which is all about, I called it the studio and travels. Okay, so this is going to be some sort of creative endeavor that you are going to, whether it be traveling somewhere or seeing something, or the studio could be like a craft room you have at your house, or it can literally be you going and drinking wine and doing the paintings or the fun stuff like that. But using your own creativity, okay, and whatever music, whatever, using your own creativity to keep the energy within you moving. It's almost like so that the circulation doesn't stop in your body, you know, the blood running through your body, and so our limbs can work properly. We have to get up and we have to move around. We have to, you know, we have to get our heart rate up. We need to get our circulation going. If not, we're going to get numb in a certain area and it's not going to be looking good. Well, same thing with your creativity and just life in general. You need an outlet, okay? Things can be going great for you, and I want nothing but the best for everybody. But not having an outlet in a time where, you know, you have so much energy and that is A, not all yours, B, multiple cords attached to you that are connected to other people, that you're just, energy's just steady flow. Using some sort of creative and like hobby or whatever helps move that energy out of you so that you can have new, fresh energy to create, which is pretty awesome. So, okay, what is going on with the general collective when it comes to what they're working on and what they're creating at the studio or through their travels? We have the Page of Wands, which is all about new ideas and creativity, exactly what I was just talking about. And I got two cards, the Ace of Pentacles, which is about new opportunities that bring about money. So I see what you're working on in the studio or in your travels. It has something to do with some new or fresh idea that you have created and come up with yourself, something that's actually pretty brilliant, that is going to, if followed through with, is going to open up a beautiful door of opportunity for you to build a lot of success for yourself. And I see that's what you're working on in the studio, aka craft room, or throughout your travels. Okay? And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Seven of Pentacles, which is all about your investment and determination. So what you're working on at the studio is reflecting a lot on what you're doing at work. Because, well, it looks like, I mean, yes, it is, because at work you have the Knight of Pentacles, where you are being very productive and practical with your time, where you're putting your efforts and things like that. Okay, let's go ahead and move to section 8, which is all about advice from source. And this may come in a form of a path or a direction or something of the sort to help clarify for you guys. So for the collective, what is the advice from Spirit for the collective when it comes to what they are creating and what they are working on? Advice is spiritual guide. Now, this is not the magician. This is like a spiritual guide does not have to be a spiritual guru. I mean, it can definitely be a mentor, a teacher, a life coach, a family member who knows it all. But that's what we have so far. So at home, we have the collective being in hermit mode, okay, which makes sense. Your home is your foundation, it's your security, it's your stability. So why wouldn't you feel comfortable to be alone, which this represents solitude and introspection. So you would want to recluse into your home and introspect and work on yourself, ultimately to evolve and to let go of what no longer serves you. In space number 2, which is all about work, it looks like, well, we have the Knight of Pentacles. It looks like the collective is really coming with a practical approach when it comes to making their money and how they go about their finances. It looks like they are being very productive, and they are moving very slowly but steadily. And so it's telling me automatically that this person is thinking about long-term financial gain. So in section 2 with work, this person or the collective is thinking about long-term financial security, like a legacy to leave, or starting a new life, a new home, a new family, things like that, having security and backup for that. Section 3 is family, okay? And we received the 9 of Wands, okay? Family is going to be pertaining to parents, uncles, cousins, aunts. Now it looks like what you are working on or what you are creating when it comes to your family, this is all about being guarded and resilient. So I feel like you are putting up some pretty strong, impenetrable boundaries when it comes to you and your family. Not, you know where it goes. So that's what I'm seeing for section number 3. Section number 4 is the gym, okay? This is where we, it doesn't have to be just the gym. It represents personal growth. So this can be a private practitioner. This can be somebody that you go see, a therapist. acupuncture, whomever, okay? But I'm seeing that what you're working on and what you're creating for yourself is a way to transmute this heavy burden of just beliefs, not even like possibly things that you've done. This is what other people, this is other people's shit, you know? And the gym, what you're working on is letting go of this heavy burden, okay? Letting go of this heavy strain. Utilizing that outlet to its fullest capacity is what I see. Now, section 5, we have friends and community. This is when we're talking about BFFs, we're talking about neighbors, we're talking about friendship groups, co-workers, old situationships. I asked, what are you working on when it comes to friends and community? Or what are you creating for yourself? And I got the 8 of Wands, which is literally all about work and creation. So I feel like what you're trying to do is you're trying to be very diligent and very careful and creative, using all your abilities, all your tools in your toolbox to make sure that you are aligning with like-minded spirits, energies, people, kindred spirits, people who you can talk to when it comes to sacred things that not everybody is going to be open or understanding. So that's what I see. I see you creating room and space for people who are at your vibration. Section 6 was about romance and love. Okay, we have the 3 of Wands. So what you are creating and what you're working on when it comes to matters of love and romance is making progress and being productive, not stopping, being steadily working, moving towards a direction. You may already have a direction in mind. You may have something planned out in your mind. But I see that this is an action card. This is a card of movement, of things are steadily moving. So in romance and love, I just see like small steps to of progress that are being made when it comes to you being productive and doing your part as an interesting partner, or as a husband or wife, or as a girlfriend or as a boyfriend. And I see you making certain planning different things, wanting to address situations in different manners, and you're making progress with this. It all starts with the idea, the thought. Okay, so section 7 is all about the studio and what we're creating in the studio. And it can also represent travels, journeys. Now this section is all about creativity and how creativity helps to keep energy flowing, okay? The 2 cards I got for the collective were the Page of Wands, which is new ideas and creativity, which is all about what we're doing in the, you can even say the arts and crafts room, because that's what the studio would be. And we have the Ace of Pentacles, which is talking about new opportunities and financial abundance. So these two cards are simply stating that you are coming up with new ideas, and you are creating new ideas when it comes to making money and your finances, and you are being presented with an opportunity that is going to be very, very fruitful. Now, your advice from Spirit was the Spirit Guide. Like I said, the Spirit Guide does not have to be a spiritual guru or anything like that. This can be a physical trainer. This can be a mentor, a teacher. It could be anybody, okay? Someone who gives advice, someone who helps. And I see that this is advice from Spirit. And I wrote down this can either come in a form of a path or a direction, some sort of advice, okay? And I got spiritual guide. So maybe some of you guys are going through some sort of ascension, or are moving up to the next level of vibration, frequency, and even understanding your gifts and your abilities and what you are fully capable of. But we're going to go ahead and get another deck, and we're going to clarify these cards a little bit more for the general collective. I want to pick a tarot deck, but something a little bit different. Yeah, I'm different. I'm different. Okay, we're gonna go with this one. The Osho Zen. Osho Zen. Okay, starting back at section 1, okay, which is a lot like the first house. It's all about you, the way people perceive you, the way you perceive yourself, your values, your beliefs, things like that. So under home, it says you and self. Okay, now the first card was the Hermit, which is all about reclusing into your home, feeling safe within your foundation, and being able to introspect at peace. Okay, let's clarify that, because that's what you are working on and what you're creating at home. Okay, Spirit, clarify the Hermit for what the collective is creating at home. Okay, we got number 5, which is totality. Okay. I believe that's the 5 of Wands. So, with totality, what I'm getting is you have possibly been introspecting on a certain situation that had really had you baffled and kind of in like a place of like really, like would really, you know, like, are they really gonna do that to me, kind of place. And I see that this is coming out as projections. Okay, this is just one scenario. Let's clarify what you are working on and what you're creating at work when it comes to the Knight of Pentacles, which is talking about you working on something very practical and being very productive about it. So clarify what the collective is working on and creating at work when it comes to the Knight of Pentacles. We have intensity. Okay. Intensity is the Knight of Wands. So that's crazy. We got the Knight of Pentacles, and then we have the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is someone who moves kind of like very passionately. So someone at work is creating or is being productive and making money when it comes to something that they are very passionate about. Creativity, what you're passionate about. Okay, let's move to section number 3, which is all about family, parents, aunts, uncles. I'm going to end up having to do a part 3, which I'll adjust on my thing because this is getting a little bit longer than what I thought. What's going on? What are we creating within our family, or what are we working on when it comes to family and this 9 of Wands? Okay, why is it that you are feeling like you have to have such strong boundaries right now when it comes to your family and your loved ones? Having to be very resilient. I feel like there has maybe been some verbal abuse that has affected you mentally. Let's clarify the 9 of Wands and what you're working on and creating with family. Okay, so someone is making you out to be the miser. Or maybe you are being guarded and resilient from the miser. And the miser so happens to be one of your family members. Bottom of the deck, we have schizophrenia. I think this is the High Priestess. No. schizophrenia. The Two of Swords. Being in two. Maybe it could be the Two of Swords, being in two minds about something. I don't know. Okay. Moving on to section 4, which is what you are working on and what you are creating at the gym, which is all about your personal growth. Okay, it doesn't have to be the gym. It could be anything that is to help you heal. Okay, or to help you keep flowing this energy. Okay. Let's clarify the Ten of Wands when it comes to what we're working on at the gym. Clarify the Ten of Wands for the collective when it comes to what we're working on at the gym. What are we creating at the gym for the collective? Well, we're creating a lot. This is exhaustion. Okay, so this is the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Wands. This is still you being very guarded and resilient. This is you having gone through a lot, kind of like what you're going through with your, like in the family, if this resonates with you. But I feel that you are, it doesn't matter how exhausted and how tired you get, you're going to continue to push through. Or yeah, guidance, new vision, maturity, the Master, and harmony. That's at the bottom of the deck. That clarifies exhaustion. You are working, what you're working on at the gym and what you're creating is a way to release this burden that has caused you so much exhaustion, this laborious, just like bag of just extra feelings and beliefs about yourself everywhere you go. And it's to the point where you're tense. It's like, kind of gotta shrug your shoulders a little bit, just kind of like, you know, open your aura some. You're being guided to keep this open area in your schedule so that you have specific time for this kind of outlet, because this is very imperative for your health. I'm getting that message. And I just opened up to sharing. Okay, the next section is going to be section 5, okay? And this is all about friends and community, which we got the Ace of Wands, which is all about work and creation. So let's clarify, what is it that you are working on or you are creating when it comes to friends and community and the Ace of Wands for the collective? We have completion. you're trying to create a friend group or a community where you feel completed, where you feel like there's not a million different conditions in order to fit in. Okay. All right. This is what I think I'm going to do. I think I'm going to go ahead and take a break. I've been on here a little bit longer than an hour. This I did label as part 2, but I will be coming back on to finish, so we can go ahead and finish diving deep. This is 8 different sections or archetypes or mundane things that are happening in your reality here in the Matrix. So for you that have stayed this long, thank you. I'm so appreciative. I'm glad that you're here and you joined me. I will come on later to finish the overall message. I'm not going to wait another day or anything like that. I'm going to go ahead and get it out. Keep a lookout for the notification for when I'll be coming live. I'll set a reminder. And yep, I'm gonna go get a little bit of rest, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.